Have you ever tried to overcome stakeholder resistance, but all what you succeed to do is to amplify it? You bring stronger arguments, they bring stronger objections. You bring more evidence, they bring more observation to adopt it. You explain that to change is necessary, they become more committed to stopping it. What if the resistance is not the real problem? If you are interested in learning how to use narrative intelligence to engage stakeholder and lead change, subscribe to this channel. If this video resonates with you, share it with someone navigating resistance and leading change. Now, let's dig deeper into this problem. Arguments intended to reduce resistance may actually amplify it. Why? Because argument does not always create reassurance. It creates pressure. And pressure does not always create openness. It creates protection. The stakeholder stops examining your proposition and starts defending himself, his identity, his role, his position, his value, and so on. At the end of the day, you will be trapped by the vicious circle of resistance feeds arguments and arguments feeds resistance. Let me tell you a story about it. During the 19th century at Vienna, there was a young physicist named Ignaz Semmelweis. He noticed something disturbing. The death rate at the maternity run by doctors was very high compared to the death rate in the maternity run by midwives. After some research, he discovered that doctors bring infection from autopsy. So he proposed to them to wash their hands. He presented numbers after numbers, day after day. He defended forcefully his position. Do you know what was the result? He didn't convince them. They fired him. This short story told us a difficult truth about human beings. When the evidence is right, with pressure, people try to hold forcefully to what they are doing. During the 1860, Abraham Lincoln won the presidency election against politician rivals. The strongest among them was William Seward. Abraham Lincoln did not ask Seward to accept his leadership. He invited him and gave him one of the most important roles in his new cabinet, Secretary of State. Gradually, William Seward developed a great respect for Abraham Lincoln and became one of the most important advisors for him during the Civil War. This second story told us a new truth about human being. A person who was against the future could suddenly become one of the most engaged to building it. I could tell you more stories about this approach. In 2022, Hakim Ziyech, one of the greatest talent of Moroccan football team, has some conflict with the former coach, Wahid Khalilovic. When Walid Regragui came as a new coach, he invited him and defended him publicly. Hakim Ziyech didn't just return back to the team. He scored, he assisted, defended, and greatly contributed to the one of the most important success of football Moroccan team to the semi-final. Now here is another story in the business world. Before 1982, the Fremont factory was the worst experience for General Motors. The management viewed the employees as the problem, and the employees viewed the management as the enemy. At the end, General Motors closed the factory. 2 years after that, Toyota, in joint venture with General Motors, reopened the factory, and they made a surprising decision. They rehired up to 90% of the employees, and they gave them a new role to be responsible of product quality. Employees have the responsibility to notice any problem. When it is necessary, the line production could be stopped. The result was surprising. This story reveals a great leadership lesson. The turning point came when someone who have remained outside the change have been given a role to contribute inside this change. This leads us to the solution. Do you know why? Because before people support you, the change you are proposing, they need to answer this personal question. Do I belong to the future you are creating, or am I just a number among numbers that I will be let down during the change journey? You need to help them answer this question. So at first, you need to build a trust bridge. After that, you need to explore how they can play a new role in the change you are building and the future you are creating. This will make a decisive shift. A stakeholder is no longer someone being asked to support a change proposed by someone else, but to contribute and to being part of building it. Now, think about a stakeholder resisting to the change you are leading. Maybe they are trying to protect their position the way they are doing the work. Your first instinct is to try to explain to them what is this change, what is about, and how you will lead it. Pause 1 second and ask yourself one question. What they are deeply protecting. Maybe they're trying to protect their identity, their position, their value, and the most important is their role in the future you are trying to create. This is what all these stories we have explored reveal. In all these stories, the relationship shifted when people see themselves in the future being created. Because resistance is not always a barrier against a change created. It is a signal from someone outside the change, wondering if I still belong to the future created or I am no longer needed. Until they believe they are part of a future created and they have a meaning role about it, they will still defend themselves against it. In the next episode, we will explore how to build a trust bridge with more practical tools. Thank you for your attention.